Okay, Luis, your show is the Magic Night.
Yeah.
Can you tell us something? Can you tell us something about the general concept of the show?
Well, first, I'm very happy to give the most original television interview I ever have done. So this is the first. It's amazing.
He's crazy. Yeah.
No, it's not. He's the crazy guy. And which camera is taking now? Which camera? Oh, it's this one. Okay. Well, I think the general concept of the Magic Night is part of a project that we are, and I give the face to that project, and it's something that I started with my friends, and our big objective, our big ideal thing would be to dignificate magic in Portugal, because this is the first thing ever done in magic on television. Usually the idea that people have about magic is, oh, it's terrible, I don't want to see the magician, not the card trick anymore, I don't want to see card tricks, no, not handkerchiefs, not those, please. But what happens is that since last 30 years in Portugal people didn't see magic, and maybe in some countries, so they don't know what is the big step ahead that magic had on last year. So today magic is a complete show because it involves theater, music, mime, all the concepts in the show, dance, singing, and everything you can put on a magic act as soon as you can combine it well. So it's that image that I want to show to Portuguese audience, and we started doing a television experience 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, doing a small program, half-an-hour program on Wednesday morning, more or less 10 in the morning. What was terrible, nobody's here, of course. My parents see it, but there was not enough. But some people start seeing magic, and then there was another series of 10 programs, another series, and we have done 40 shows non-stop, 40 weeks with a half-an-hour show each week. Wednesday morning, nobody's seeing it. But well, some people saw it, and that means that they like it. And 1 year after, they asked me to write a new series and produce a new series of 26 shows, and this time was on Saturday 12:30. What was a little bit better was okay, and this year they invited to a late evening show, 1 hour show. Now it's not half an hour, it's 1 hour, and it's Saturday night. So slowly by slowly, I think people are starting to like magic, and we are being able to show the new wave of magic in the world.
Yeah. Is it part of the concept to have guests and to present different forms of magic, and to go to different places?
Yeah, of course.
It's not like filming an act on stage and just put this in TV.
No, on television you must be very careful when you show any kind of art, especially magic, because when people see a magic act on television, they always say, well, it's camera trick, I don't want to see it. And it's not camera trick. Everything we show on the show are not camera tricks, and what we see is only the result of the work of the artist, the guest artist, or myself. And it's very difficult, especially for the director, to shoot it in a way that people can be sure that it's not camera tricks. So sometimes, instead of filming with lots of cameras, the director must film only with one and go around and underneath and on top, everything to show it. But then people will notice that there's no cut. This is one detail, but there are lots of things when you think of putting magic on television. Also, I have on this new series, 26 shows, we have 3 guests on each show, and I do the other stuff. I do more or less 4 illusions, 2 illusions and 2 small tricks in a show, and I have 3 invited guests, 2 on the first part and 1 on the second part. Also on the second part, and because I think that it's important to educate an audience to see magic, because they are not used, so they don't know how to see it, and they don't have magic culture, because they think magic is something like a clown in a circus, what is great but is not what we are doing, or it's something that all magicians are equal. No, people have very different style, and what's happening is that to allow people to have a stronger idea, to have some ponder on magic, In each show I dedicate 4 or 5 minutes to the history of magic. So I can speak about Roberto Dan, I can show the Musée de Nuit, or I can show, I can make an interview to Copperfield, or I can go and see Davenports in England. So, and we, in some way we are giving to the people the idea of we have a background. It's not something like a magician come on stage and do a trick and I know how it's done and you don't know how it's done. It's not like that. It's something that have a great background, and when you see 10 minutes, that represents a lot of magic culture, a lot of improvement and a lot of research. And only if people know that it exists, they can give the right value to the artists that they see on each movie.
Is it for this? Is it important to have the audience in the studio?
Completely important. That is one of the other little points that gives people at home the security that what they are seeing is not a camera trick, because there is a live audience who is like a normal audience on the theater, and they can testimoniate that is no camera trick.
Yeah.
They are seeing from the beginning, and what people see at home is exactly what they would see if they were on studio.
Yeah, but the people in front of this TV screen, they don't take the point of view of the audience. It's not like sitting in between the audience. I mean, you see the audience and they see you, but it's not like sitting in the audience. So it's three participants in this show. It's the audience, it's the magic, and it's the viewer in front of the TV.
The two important ones are the one who is performing magic, that sometimes is me and sometimes is the invited artist, and the other that is at home seeing the show. And I always work and I always speak as on this part of the camera are 1 or 2 people seeing. Because I don't think I'm working for 10 million people, I'm working right for you. And this means I can be more direct, and sometimes we can even talk. Yes. And the other thing is, the director must shot the best images, must take the best shots to give the people that is at home the feeling that he's there on studio.
Yeah.
But more than be sitting, that spectator can go around, go on top, go underneath and see the best things. Everything you can see. And in between these two things is the people that are in the studio, and they are just there first to have fun and to see it as a show, as a theater show, but also to prove people that there is no camera tricks. So to do a show, we have artists, we have cameras, we have decorations, and also we have audience to prove there is no camera tricks.
Yeah. You just said it's important to talk to the people in front of the screen. Yeah. Normally, in people's mind, it seems not to be possible to talk to someone sitting in front of the screen. But you think that it's possible to get something like a feedback from people's home back into the studio?
I'm sure about that. I'm sure about that because we all are human beings. So it's human beings on this side and on that side. So if we imagine that we are on the other side, we can see what we would react if we were there. And this means it's terrible, confusing, but it's really what I believe. And always it's possible to attract people as we are talking now. The only difference is we are long distance, we are underneath the floor, we are in cables, we are in frequencies, but at the end will be 2 eyes and 2 eyes. Those eyes and these eyes, and we can communicate, speaking, smiling, waving, we can always communicate. And of course this originates and have the consequence to change what is happening on people's home. They cannot stay like this seeing the show. They laugh, they go away, they say I don't like that trick, they always react.
Yes, they do, but there are, let's say, 2 million different human beings, and you always have to be a step ahead and to know how they may react to get into this communication.
Well, and as I told you, I don't think that is 2 million people on the other side. I'm really speaking for those 2 that are over there. So at the end, we are 2 people, me and you, or 3, me, you, and you, and you. And it's, if you think it's it's 2 million people or 10 million or something, you lose
the private atmosphere.
Yeah, the private atmosphere. I was the personality. You lose it as you are on a rock concert. The singer only can say, "How are you?" and everybody, yeah. It's and nobody's seeing nobody. Here now it's real two people. Well, we have a screen here, but you are there and I'm here, so we can see each other.
It's not mass communication. It's private.
Yeah, I think so. I think television is very private, and when people don't think like that, they just lose the opportunity they have to be real intimate, as radio is.
Okay. Do you try to tell special stories to the people with your illusions and with your magic? Do you have a special intention, or do you want to tell special things, or is it just the effect?
Well, I think that it cannot be just the effects. If it is the effect, it's like a trick, and I can vanish in the coin and you don't see it. I have it here. So it's not a trick. Is the effect. What means the trick is the smallest part on the effect. Also because I'm doing I'm doing more than a few tricks. I'm doing on the whole series a lot of stuff. So I may to get the attention of the people that is in the show. I cannot be boring, so I cannot do all the same kind of things. Sometimes I do things that are funny, sometimes I do things that are more serious, sometimes I do things talked or with music or illusions or small things, because if not it's too boring for people, and I want to show them the fan of all the opportunities, all the possibilities that we have when we see magic. And what happened is it's very difficult to find different stuff on the all shows, and especially on the same show, to make it very balanced. But I think that is always more than effect. Sometimes if I do a trick with a cigarette and I say don't smoke, this is more than a trick. This is a social message that because it's these two people and those two, they are going to hear this and they are not going to start smoking, to stop smoking. But maybe to people in 2 millions, one hear that and the other time hears again and stop smoking. Or if I say to the children, I say, you children, please don't try this at home or something, I'm giving a kind of messages. Of course, these are very easy ones, and there are others stronger, but only seeing the things we can see.
How do you think will this develop, this magic in TV?
I think magic on television have a very big problem. Maybe two problems. One is going to finish in sometimes, but the other is not. The one that maybe it's finished is because people don't believe, most part of television channels on certain countries, they don't believe that magic can be a great show. And it can be. I will not say that I'm doing a great show. What I'm saying is in Portugal, there are 4 channels. This is the only magic program. And in the whole ranking of the all programs, the Magic Night is on 5th place of the 4 channels. And this means that people like to see it. So there is an audience that likes to see magic. Magic have a space on television. So the first problem that is going to be solved is convince people who decides on television that maybe they should dedicate some money, some time, some attention to magic, because it's very good to put on television. And people are already. We see a variety show and it's song, singer, song. It's only music, but it's great, but it's not a variety show, it's a music show. And so if we start seeing magic in different things, the people who decide are going to change their opinion. This is one thing. But the other big problem is that we are in a situation that we like to do big because everybody wants to do bigger and bigger, and Copperfield is amazing and do big things, and everybody wants to do not a jet plane but 2 jet planes and 1 or 10 jet planes, and that's stupid because it's not the size of the illusion you present that defines the impact because of the audience. And also on television it's very dangerous because when you make 10 jet planes disappear, nobody will believe it. Everybody will say it's camera trick because it's too big. So maybe